Heyo everybody! It's Cameron from TheGameCoop. Today we're taking a look at Soulstone Survivors. Another game in this sort of Survivors series. It's like it's a survival game, like an arcade action reverse bullet hell, sort of in the same vein, of course, of the Vampire Survivors sort of genre. Pretty good. It's about $10 US on Steam right now. Looked pretty good, and I thought I'd check it out. Oh, sorry, one sec. And I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I think it's more of like a $7.99 game than a $10 game. You know what I'm saying? More like a $8 game. Well, anyway, your mileage may vary. But let's go ahead and jump in. I've spent a couple hours playing it. I've unlocked a couple characters. The first character that you normally start with is this one, the Barbarian. And it's sort of interesting how they have things done. They have a starting weapon, and the weapon dictates your skill. And so you can go to the blacksmith and unlock different weapons for other characters, and it gives you a different ability. And debuffs seem to be sort of the name of the game in this particular one. But what we'll do is we'll start with a new character. We've also played the Pyromancer recently. It's been pretty fun. But we'll start a whole new one, brand new one. So we'll start the Houndmaster, which is sort of the third character in the list here. We've got a couple others that we've unlocked, but it's basically just like a money thing. Like, hey, you have to pay 5 of these gold wicked soulstones, the third boss of the void, right? We've got plenty of them. We can unlock this person if we wanted, but you know, it's sort of whatever. This is a paladin I've already got unlocked. A couple other people's Spellblade seems pretty cool. Let's go with the Houndmaster for now. Who knows? So you start off with less health than normal, but more damage than normal. Less movement than normal, but you get more health from healing crystals and a huge area modifier. We have none of the skills unlocked yet, so we just have the Rusted Blaster, Mortar Shot. And so like some of the starting weapon skills are good, but in comparison to a lot of the unlockable skills seem a bit lackluster, so sometimes you'll replace them on purpose. I don't know, it just sort of seems that way. The Barbarian starting skill, the swing, is actually pretty decent, but the area is quite small. And the slash is really bad, but stronger. So it's sort of one of those things, you know? The fire slash, it's just like a little fireball. It pierces, I think. Maybe not. Maybe just splash on the first thing. It deals burn. But then the second one has combustion, which is like a ring around you. It's a ring, though, not a circle, which is a little interesting. But anyway, there's pluses and minuses to each character. I've not played the Houndmaster at all, so let's go ahead and give them a shot. We'll go into the fight arena. Oh, unless I miss. Fight? And so here we are. You start off, you can select runes for the characters. We might select some generic ones. Nah, let's go with nothing to start. We'll go with the baseline. Runes is something that you unlock through the skill tree, which I've almost got entirely unlocked. Actually, do have 100% unlocked in the skill tree. Some of these are better than others, but like, these are just kind of good. These are the sort of, hey, the more you play, the stronger you get. And these will cost money to start minor soul stones. And then it costs boss stones later on in life to upgrade. But we've got them all because we've played enough of just the Barbarian, the starter character. The only thing we're lacking is this one, which I guess we could buy now with some rogue soulstones. The 5th boss of the void. And so they're the hardest ones to get, it seems. But yeah, anyway. We'll just do regular. We'll do no runes. We'll fight. We'll turn off Curse. Curse is like the depth of the darkness. And then you can start on like Curse 1. And you can add some extra modifiers. It gets pretty nuts. We'll play without it, because of course we're a brand new character. We'll play on the very first level, the Scorching Valley. We'll hit fight. Now we are still a little bit stronger, and it looks like we're a summons character. Of course we only get the typical sort of controls. Our little doggos are doing us some real good damage, actually. Depending on the character you start with, it's actually quite hard to kill the initial enemies and gather the initial experience. There's also a dash. You got 2 independently cooldowning dashes, You start off with one, but you can unlock an additional one, and sometimes during the course of the game you can get a third. Whoa. And then there's all sorts of modifiers. Of course, on level up, you can change all of these things. Crit damage is pretty good, but only if you're scaling it. But look, 225% damage, 15% chance though. But then there's levels of each of the powers, and they can roll differently. So there's a common power, it's just white, typical. Green for an uncommon power. There's blue for a rare power, which we don't have right now. And then orange for legendary. A fairly typical color scheme, right? So of these, I don't really need any extra health. More health is always better, obviously, but there's nothing I'm doing with it right now, so health is sort of whatever. We're also on the very first level, and I don't anticipate it's going to be too difficult because we do have all those skills unlocked. Crit damage is probably a great idea considering how low it is. It'll up us to 25%, so a fourth of our damage will be crit. Or we can increase the common basic skill to do an additional 30% damage. But 30% damage on that is not very much, although they overlap, so they can probably shotgun quite a bit. So we'll probably just take the generic one. Looks like we got a minimum distance at which we can shoot the mortars. I don't think we can do self-damage with it. We can also just follow our doggos around. So the yellow things are XP, and the blue ones are money, basically. Alright, and so now we get interesting things. Couple bombs. Is this a bomb skill? It is. So it might be good to stick with the same sort of tags, so that because you can get generic upgrades which upgrade everything of that type. So seeing that these are bombs, it's pretty good. Let's see. Bomb area frontal burst physical. Bomb lasting area physical. So it'll say it's 3 types matching on that one, 3 types matching on this one, 3 types matching on this one. So it just sort of depends on what we want to do. This is not frontal. These are both thrown out. Now this is interesting because the Chaos Bomb, anywhere between 1 and 990 damage, applying a random powerful negative effect. So it can do almost no damage or a lot of damage, and any number of negative effects. Got a relatively long cooldown, but not too bad. This one's got a long cooldown. Reduces armor by 12 and deals a good amount of damage over time. Kind of hard to say, right? And then poison. Huge damage, but over a long period of time. Troublesome, huh? There is also a rune that will let you roll these damage rolls twice and take the better of the two. We don't have that one, of course, because we're not doing any runes, so the chaos stuff might not be for the best. But a 7-second cooldown is just forever. It's a good question. Are we going to lean into the physical? You know what? Let's do Napalm Blast. There, we've decided we're going fire-ish. Alright, now a couple different things. Here we got our first rare, and this is actually a good thing to choose. We'll probably take it. Increases your experience modifier by an additional 20%. Nice. And your pickup range modifier by an additional 150%. Outrageous. Increases the range which you collect items such as experience crystals. Pretty good. Fire shield. Not too good to start, but it does ramp up the more times you get it, because you can get each upgrade several times. We'll take magnetic for now. Just for the XP modifier, if nothing else. Okay, and now we have a couple. We could do this again, but it's the common version, so it's not super worthwhile. We could get a debuff, 40% chance of applying slow. Not bad. We'll grab that one, I suppose. We can also re-roll or banish. These are things you unlock over time in that menu. Just gives you a bit more flexibility. You can see some slows going on. Oh, we've got some casty guys now. Oh, also, let's go ahead and turn our special effects ability back up. Now you can actually see our attacks. The reason why they're so far down, well, you'll see. Okay, now we have a couple things. Now we're doing bleed with this. We're doing melting with this. We can get burn with this. But this is much better, isn't it? It doesn't have any debuffs, but it matches all of our other stuff really well. It's basically the same as Mortar Shot and very similar to Napalm Blast. But there's no debuffs. Flame Wave is particularly good as well. But again, a hugely long cooldown. Same for this one. I really like Flame Wave, but let's stick with the bomb motif. That's pretty cool. Alright, so now we get to pick. We could poison things. Again, it's a common power, so it's sort of whatever. It's just the weakest of the bunch, the weakest roll of the bunch, but it's not necessarily the weakest of all the choices. Because this is 24% increased critical damage, which is huge, but only on a crit, which we're only doing about a quarter of the time right now. So that's actually not that good. Cluster Bomb, we like it, but we don't know how good it is yet. So let's actually take the poison for now. The more debuffs you have, the more it will stack. See? We're just doing free damage on these guys. Okay, now, it's a good question. We can cast everything an additional 10% faster. What's our current cast modifier? Cast frequency modifier, 10%. Use skills 50% more frequently. It's a 10% more damage multiplier, right? But so is this. Kind of. This will also give us more chances to do this. So this is probably the better pick overall. It also depends on how uncommon things are. Also now, since we're doing bleed, poison, and a couple other things. Oh, look at this. Build a ballista. Or a meteor, which does stun and burn. Nice. We can maybe choose this. But the Chaos Bolt has more matching types. Frontal, physical. What else? Is it just frontal and physical for these? And then for that one, it's probably... Oh, they're all frontal physical. Alright. So it matches more. Projectile, summon, physical. And this builds a ballista at your position for 25 seconds. Fires bolts at the nearest enemy, dealing 168 damage. And you can have 4 ballistas active at any given time. And they're active for 12.5 seconds. Interesting. So the longer they're alive, the more will be built. Summons are a little funky though. I think you do have a maximum number of summons that you can have at any given time. Meteor seems really nice, but we don't have any control of where it goes. And again, 1 to 336. Secondary bolts are released on impact, which seems pretty nice. Chaos Bolt might be good. Should we go with a summon build? There's only one that matches. Let's go with Meteor for now. I don't know. We're doing a fire motif. Let's stick with that. Ooh, and now you see? Everything with area gets an epic upgrade. Purple. Did I mention that before? Well, anyway, purple exists. So this actually levels up 3 of our 4 skills by 1. Unfortunately, it doesn't do the Meteor, which we just got, because it's not frontal. If we had taken the Chaos one, it would have upgraded that as well. And it does huge AoE. 40% more AoE. Outrageous. And another one. Another frontal, this time multicast. We might as well take it. That being said, there's a damage increase for everything bomb type. Well, we've only got 2 of them. Meteor AoE. Multicast is just better. Again, Meteor is being left behind somewhat. You can already see it's getting a little cluttered though, can't you? Hello, doggos. Alright, now, we've already got something that's doing burn damage. So it's sort of a good question if we want that. Acid Rain seems pretty good and matches a lot of things. It's a bomb type, area, frontal, physical, and does rot. A whole new debuff that we don't have. It seems like the natural choice. Nice. Now most of our stuff is front facing. Let's do Relentless again. Cast frequency modifier, an additional 10%. Nice. 30% faster attacks. And now, a boss has spawned. The first wave. A whole new thing? A new debuff, spontaneous combustion, 25% chance to just apply a burn that does 84 damage over 8 seconds. Sure, let's take it. The other 2 are not particularly promising. And look at that, he's already dead. Incredible. Now, Shrapnel Bomb matches a lot of stuff, but does bleed, which is something we're already doing with Mortar Shot. However, if we intend to replace Mortar Shot at any time with something else, like say Dazed, which increases their chance to take critical strikes, might be worthwhile. But it matches just absolutely everything that we have, so it's worthwhile. The sort of odd man out right now, interestingly, is the Meteor. So many bamboos. We're cannoneering everywhere. And now, generic area, expansive, epic, all things 20% increase in area. Absolutely worthwhile. Getting a little hard to see the ground though, isn't it? Ah, we just accidentally a health crystal. And so now, we've killed one of the Lords of the Void, and we need to kill 850 more enemies. We're already at 536 before we get the next. Okay, so next. Do we want to increase our block power? Not particularly, we still haven't even taken damage yet. So we don't need to care about our block power or health. These are very much more important, unlike the longer dives later on in life. But for now, not so great. We could take Fire Shield, and this is what we would do probably if we didn't have rerolls, but since we do, none of these are particularly compelling, so we'll reroll. And now, we can do an area of effect on all bomb types by 30%. Pretty good. We have 4 of our 6 skills being bomb types. We can also further increase our cast frequency by an additional 10%, which would bring us up to 40% faster, which seems pretty good. And in fact, possibly better, because this works on all skills, and regardless of whether we switch our skills or not. Tell you what, let's do that. It's just 10% more damage. But as you can see, it's getting really hard to tell where things are. Okay, and now our skills are full. However, we might consider swapping something. And currently, Meteor is our weakest. Because it doesn't match anything, even though it's very strong, and stuns, which let's not discount. Because stun works up to the fairly large size enemies, it'll just knock them over and it's quite good. But it's not targeted at all. Bit of a problem. Now this one is also not targeted. But it is a matching type to a much more stuff. So we might take that in favor of the Meteor and just see how it goes for now. So we'll swap it. Of course, we lost a multi-level Meteor in favor of a level 1 Poison, which is just this little bit of area on the ground. Mortar Shot, an additional 30%. I'm not super sold on Mortar Shot, to be honest with you. We'll re-roll again. Nice. Expose weaknesses. So what this does is anytime we have a critical strike, it will apply a wound to the target, which is yet another debuff. And then any effect while the wound is active has a 50% chance that it'll be doubled for 6 seconds. That's nuts, right? So 25% of the time, we have a 50% chance to just double the next incoming damage, which we're stacking constantly. So here's another new one, Fateful Strikes, Doom. This is sort of like a poison, but it doesn't apply until after the 5 seconds is done. So there's a full countdown and then it applies. However, you can stack it quite a bit, and if it gets to their total level of health or whatever remaining health, they just die. Sure, why not? We love debuffs. Nuts. Okay, Shrapnel Shot seems interesting. Blast, Missile, Frontal, Physical. Do we want to replace anything? It's pretty good. But I don't think we want to replace anything in particular. So we'll not replace any of these, and instead, we'll just level up something. Again, we can reroll. Do we want to increase our lethality? Get a 30%? Nearly a third of all of our available hits. Of these, it seems like the best. We can also reroll again. And we have some choices of some other ones. Frag Shot. Summons are kind of fun, but we're definitely not a summon build right now. We are very much a frontal bomb build. So again, we'll do the power-ups. Cast frequency is the best set of these. Again, it's a common one, so it's not the best. Well, we'll just take it. We re-rolled and it wasn't a great one, but there you go. We might consider replacing this Napalm Blast. Unless we can get more cooldown. It's just not very good. And the Poison Bomb is similar. It's a very small area of effect. These are all also bad. Area of effect is good, but we prefer like generic area of effect. Now here's a fun one, Leviathan. Increases damage by 10%, all damage, but subtracts 5% from move speed. Oof, there's a price to pay. We'll still select it. Now, we've got both of these debuffs already. And if we select it again, it will add more. So if we had another Doom, let's see, where are you? It would stack. You wouldn't have a 40% chance of applying Doom. It would still be just a 20% chance, but it would cause 120 damage over 5 seconds. So, pretty good. However, we're not focusing on either of these things, so we'll try banishing, say, Touch of Ice, Shrapnel Bomb. That's pretty good. That's not bad. We got a lot of banishes, though, so let's try this one as well. And Venomous. We've also got that. Now, we're doing Poison elsewhere, and it's not the same, and it would double it. But again, we don't really want any more. Should we do it again? Another 5% speed lost? You bet. But see, now we're starting to overlap some of our damage areas. I'm not so sure about the poison. Weakness. Increases all damage received by 12%. Outrageous. And the damage received from negative effects by an extra 12% for 6 seconds. Crazy. That's actually quite good, right? Let's actually do this and replace maybe the Poison Bomb? Question mark? Fires an explosive shot in the direction you're aiming once every 3.4 seconds, dealing 400 damage and applying weakness to enemies in a large area. So this is actually sort of a good debuff for single target. And we're doing a lot of area damage, which would help a lot. We're still not critting quite a bit, so this isn't as good. Fragility is quite nice, because they just receive all damage by an extra 3% per 6 seconds. Not very big, but again, fragility is something that can be stacked. This is better, I would say, than Poison Bomb. I just don't like Poison Bomb. It leaves a really small ground effect that doesn't do great damage. And since it's still level 1, let's replace it. And we'll see how this does, because this will give us a single target boost. Boom, she said. This is basically like giving us a directed meteor. Now, once again, Leviathan. We're gonna start getting real slow, though. Too bad. And we sort of want to generally stay on top of our napalm field here, just because it's good. Now we can start stacking spontaneous combustion if we want. I'm not so sure about that. We're still only critting about 25% of the time. They're all a little rough, hey? Well, just for proof of concept, 204 damage over 8 seconds. Since we're kind of hitting a lot. A bomb barrage that causes weakness. Superior. Weakness. Weakness. Now this is a different weakness, interestingly. Increases all damage received by 3% instead of all damage received by 12%. Vastly different. However, it's a bomb frontal burst physical, so it stacks much better with our other types. Good question, huh? But we've already got a level 3 explosive shot? How did that happen? I wonder if it just got the generic bonuses from... That's very interesting if that is the case. Ooh, it does. Today I learned that since these are buffs that you get, it just affects them. Nice. So this would still work because of these, and it would still get the bonus. A frontal bonus? Frontal bonus? So we have 2 frontal bonuses, and that's it? That are specific ones, I should say. That's just the skill we took. Right. And it's the skills we took in the order we took them. Now this is better for clear, because it'll give 3% weakness to everything that's caught in it. Gosh, that's a tough one. I am inclined to say that we do that, though, because this is just frontal and physical. But this just has more. Okay, let's do it. And again, level 3. And maybe that was a bad call, but it depends on how tough it is to fight enemies. Tell you what, let's just banish Fire Shield if we're not going to take it. Shoot. It didn't give us something better. Do I want to do Cluster Bomb specifically? Not really. I generally prefer generic ones. Napalm Blast might be good, actually. Multicast is good, but it's only 4%. Tell you what, let's take the Napalm Blast by 20%, because that will speed it up, and now the cooldown is just 4.8 seconds. And make it a bit more reasonable. Oops, we got hit and knocked around. Ah, nice. Agile. Bump movement speed up 20. That helps us make up for all that movement speed debuffing we did, huh? Okay, I think we're pretty happy with our current setup, because we have a lot of really thematic stuff. The only thing we might consider swapping is the mortar shot, because we have shrapnel bomb that now does bleed, but I don't know if we'll have anything that is better. Like maybe if we got the rocket again, that would be a good thing to replace here. And in fact, maybe we should have replaced mortar shot with bomb barrage. Oh well, life goes on. But none of these are particularly appealing. Tell you what, let's just do lethality for now. It's maybe a bit of a wasted one, but we're so low, such a low level on it that it might be worthwhile. And let's take agility again. Expansive, even more AoE. It really ramps though, doesn't it? That's ridiculous. None of these. This is quite nice, but it's alright. We don't need that stuff. That's completely different than most of our stuff. Power-ups? Do we want it yet again? Napalm Blast yet again, a little bit faster. Or lethality to 35%. Or even some more burn. Let's take lethality. We can start stacking crit a little bit. I don't like taking lethality at the common, but there you go. Ah, behold, frailty. This is a fun one. Only 10% chance of applying fragility, but increases all damage received by 3% for 6 seconds. It's great. And every single attack has a 10% chance. Seems good. He's already dead. Turns out, we don't need a lot of single target damage, because we're already doing okay. That being said, rare damage for shrapnel shot, 45% increased damage. Seems like it'd be pretty good. Okay, we'll take it. Suction bomb? Not really. That'd be the only thing, right? But there's no debuff. It's okay damage. And it gathers up smaller enemies. But I don't think we particularly care about any of those. Do I want more AoE for Acid Rain? Damage increase, but Bomb Barrage? Ridiculous. I do enjoy AoE. And Acid Rain is rot damage. Spread to nearby enemies. Nice. Seems pretty good. Good question. 45% increase in damage? It doesn't do a lot of damage, but there are 10 of them. And 45% is sizable. Sure, let's just lean into damage, I guess, a little. Not that we really need it. Frontal skills tend to be more damaging because they're frontal, but again, or a generic 5% across the board. Good question. The shrapnel bomb is pretty good because it's huge. Sure. And so you just keep on keeping on. Even more damage? Why not? A bombardment. A bombardment around your current position. Each bomb deals 374 damage in a large area. Matches a lot of types. Would be replace something? Like this one because it deals bleed? 5 mortar shots? Or just a bombardment. Area burst physical. The one that matches the least is this one. Area physical. Nah, we're doing okay. I regret somewhat. Attack speed on Napalm Blast is still probably a good idea. I want this going off all the time. The troublesome thing is, there's only so much tightening you can do. Start getting into diminishing returns. Oh look, there's our doggy health bars. Our doggos actually have health bars. Oh, that was a spreading rot. I see. Nice. Oh, big one. 15% damage boost across the board. Absolutely. Couple of lead enemies, the shiny glowy ones. Nice. Damage increase for everything that's a bomb. Almost every single one. The only thing that falls off is the napalm blast, which is basically a debuff. And some damage, why not? Although I do think it's maybe our weakest skill at the moment. But you can see why even having just one of a debuff gets pretty good. Bombardment? No, again, it's just damage. So I don't really like it very much. But melting is a debuff along the side of, like, weakness. But see, the thing is, if we replace this now, all the power-ups that we got for it specifically are wasted level ups. And this late in the game, even though it's only been about 7 minutes, doesn't really feel very good. So we might just keep what we've got. Leviathan, 20 damage for 10% move speed? Sure. Still, just because we spent a couple points on it doesn't mean we have to fall prey to the sunken cost fallacy. It may still just ultimately be a better idea to replace Napalm Blast with something that's simply more efficient. Let's take another spontaneous combustion, I suppose. We could also go ahead and banish one of the other two defensive types, considering we're not really using them at all. Incarnation of Ice, huh? Got something for you, bud. He died. So we could get rid of these, since we don't really need them right now. And we're not really planning on necessarily continuing this particular playthrough. Although multicast is fine. Tell you what, let's banish this one. Relentless. Superior. Now, this is just 10% more casting. This is an 8% chance increase to cast 2 at the same time. Or however many at the same time. If you got this up to 300%, you would cast 3 every time this came around. So it's sort of, it just depends on which way you're leaning. I prefer probably to just say, let's just cast more of them. But that is exactly what extra casting does as well. And currently our multicast chance is 0%. So this would just be an 8% increase. This is still better. Gee, sure is getting hard to see the ground. None of those. Area of effect for everything burst. Not bad. 4 types. We'll take it. Huge area as well. The ground is enormous. Oh no, our doggies are almost died. You can see there's actually some somewhat strong enemies. We're actually getting bonked a little bit, trying to stay on top of our napalm field. Unbreakable, a fun one. Just reduces damage by 2. Outrageous. We want to do more damage though. Look at all the XP on the ground. Bum bum bum. Tempting. Tell you what, let's take a little multicast. It's probably a bad idea coming from 0%. The Plague Bearer. Mortar shot. Cast frequency. Where are you, bud? He did. We can't even see some of the stuff on the ground though. And this is where it's sort of like, you know what, let's turn those down a little bit. We like seeing them, but it's sort of more important to see the ground. We need to see where the debuffs are. This isn't too bad. You can't really see our napalm ground though. Troublesome. What do we got here? This is the debuff that's working on us. I think we got a couple slows. Sure, let's go area on Acid Rain. Why not? Some of our area is just hugely large. This might be a nice one as well, but we seem to be getting a lot of... Ooh. We're out of rerolls and banishes. Again, it's only in about half of our... Or, excuse me, a third of our attacks. Sure. It's probably best to stick to one thing in general and try to focus that. But there's only so much you can do after all. We're starting to get some very strong monsters, but we're doing a lot of debuff damage. So some of these guys we just need to hit once and then walk away. Get them in a big cluster of stuff and just leave. And they'll die by themselves. Saying that, should we make them stronger? Bomb Barrage is lagging behind a little bit, but not that much. Sure, let's just make our burns a bit stronger. There's also resources just scattered across the map. Which is something we could be looking at. There's a healing crystal over there. You can see the green thing. It's a healing crystal. Tiagro. Cast frequency? You bet. Oh no! That's a light beam. Incredibly strong, but as you can see, very small. Nice. And so we've got an achievement. Complete a match in less than 12 minutes with the Houndmaster. Nice. And it gives a skill mastery, Blast. Up to 6 random active skills with the type Blast that your character would not have access to otherwise is in the skill pool. If possible. Costs 2 runic points. We only just barely made it. Nice. We leveled up again, but it doesn't really matter too much. Obviously, we'll take multicast. 36%. We didn't have any multicast before, and now it gives it for literally every single one of our things because it's frontal. Nice. But our mission here is over, and our doggo survived, it seems. And now we have a couple portals to choose from. There's 3 different types. You can end the game by going into the blue portal, You were victorious, and you can return home. There's the endless mode. I think this is if you beat it in 14 minutes or less, you can go into endless, which is just basically you keep all your stats in your current difficulty and you move on to the next level. And then there's curse increase, which is if you beat it under 12 minutes. You can increase the level of curse. And this is probably what we'll do, except, do we want to try a different build? How long has it been? We've only got a little bit of time left, actually. Let's just go delve deeper into the curse. And so now, it's extra hard. We have some curse difficulty added, and we're also in the next level. But as you can see, it basically starts the game again, but everything is as hard as it was. Let's increase our crit power a bit. Let's see if we can lean into crit this time. Now, it's very probable that we'll die. Up to 45%. Not bad. Huge power. Generic. Generally, it's almost always going to be good if you get a good roll for damage increase. Nice, right? All bomb types, 30%. That's basically all of our skills. It's just better than this one, with the specific exception of that one. Because generic damage will almost always... I guess since we're doing more crits now, we can take Merciless. Generic damage applies to literally everything. The debuffs, your skills, everything. Oh no. How fast are we going? Movement speed modifier, 10%. We're still early on. Let's get some more move speed. Yes. Fragility? Probably a good one. Damage increase on a single thing. Armor power, which might be a good idea considering we just upped our curse level. Overlord mode. Ooh. Yeah, and see, 5 extra Lords of the Void. Nice. But let's lean fragility, or frailty, excuse me, a bit more. Oh, we took a wee smidge of damage there. It's okay if we die, though. We've had a good run. Huge Leviathan. But 20%. This is what we invested for. And now 2 enemies that we have to fight at the same time. Oh. Ooh. I want it. I want it. Oh, precious. We're taking it. We are now negative on our move speed. Ouch. However, we're dealing big damage. Yes. More crit chance. Uh-oh, we're about to eat that one in the face. That being said, do we want to, take some health? Never. We just took a ton of health damage. Woo! I dare not. I want it badly, but I dare not. We're already quite slow. Naturally, we'll take a damage increase to literally every single one of our skills, and thank you very much. Oh no, our doggies are dying. Good question. Attack speed again to Napalm Blast? Another 30%? Let's get it going all the time. I want all bad guys to be melting and on fire. Gangrene, nice. Every time you apply a stack of fragility, which is only 10% each attack, but we do a lot of shotgunning. 50% chance to apply a bleed as well, which currently deals 413 damage over 10 seconds. Nice. It's a good one. Just extra stacks of bleed, why not? Agility, we need it. If for no other reason, so that we can spend it later on more damage. Now we get quite a bit of health every time we level up, so we're basically almost back to full health, just like that. We're doing a good amount of crit chance now. Literally half of our attacks are crits, so we can lean this way, and that doesn't feel too bad. Poisonous blood. Every time we bleed, we poison. Nice. However, an extra 50% chance? Gosh, good question. This will stack the debuffs immensely, because we're doing a fair amount of bleed right now. And every time we bleed is a 50% chance just to add another poison, which currently is a 30% chance to just do poison. Half our attacks are critting right now. This will come around again. This might not. Look at the level of debuffs that landed on that guy. The debuffs are just so strong. Woo! We're not gonna swap our skills at this point. Sure. Nice. Nice. Gosh. Multicast is currently sitting at 4%. We could up that dramatically to 20%. We now have a 20% chance to cast our skills multiple times. That's a huge damage increase. A legendary, physical. Everything gets 50% more AoE. Obviously, you have to choose this one. It's huge. Absolutely outrageous. Look, meteors come around again. Let's take multicast. Who needs health, right? So many circles. More damage. It might actually be better to start leaning towards crit damage when the choice is available. Good question. Nothing particularly strong. But we're doing good damage right now. And even more damage. The problem is the scaling happens quickly. Do we want to up our burns even more? What are we really sitting at right now? 900 damage over 8 seconds on a 25% chance. And I wonder if each of our hits has this 25% chance. Or if the activation has a 25% chance. You know what I'm saying? Like if we throw out a bomb and then 20 smaller bombs, is that 21 chances to apply a burn? In which case, this is ridiculously strong. Or is it one chance over the entirety to do 25%? In which case, this is the much better option. Good question, right? But I think generically, this will also increase this damage. So it just might be the better option on the safe side. And we're doing so much damage anyway. Critical damage. How many frailties do we have? Just the 2? But it's 6%. And this would make it 9%. all damage received. Whoa. But only a 10% chance. Again, it depends on a lot of factors. But I think with like a cluster setup with many hits like we're doing, I think this is better. Because like, look how many stacks are happening the second we hit them once. Now, to be fair, hit them once is a very, very interesting qualifier. Up to 70% crit. Very nice. Whoa. Multicast. 20%, obviously. We're now up to multicast chance 44%. Nearly half the time we'll just shoot twice. Thermal shock. Nice. Every time we apply burn, we also apply slow. That doesn't hurt anything, it's not particularly strong, but the slower enemies are, the less likely they are to attack us. However, critical damage, you know what I'm saying? We're critting quite a bit now. This is just a huge damage boost. And this is no damage, and we already slow 40% of the time. Right? Damage, you know what I'm saying? Look, they're both dead already. The damage is just nuts. I really want to say that, yeah, AoE obviously, that each one of those hits has the chance to apply a debuff. So going a multi-hitting build with debuffs is brokenly strong. More crit chance. 80% chance to crit. Now there's been some back and forth about the whole over crit situation. But this is the chance for your attacks to be critical, dealing extra damage. Literally it. So presumably once this hits 100%, anything over that does literally nothing. Some people say it adds to the crit modifier, but there's specifically a rune that says that, from what I understand. So presumably, without that rune, it does nothing. Hey look, critical strikes have a 50% chance of applying bleed. Just free damage on crit? You better believe. We're critting. Have a bunch more bleeds. We just want to put as many blue things on the field as possible. Damage increase of bomb barrage specifically? We've got nothing else in particular. We could do an extra 5% area, I guess. I just don't like taking specific skills. With the rare powers, it's probably okay. Rare and higher. Common and uncommon, it's probably pointless. You'll almost always have a better option. Vicious strikes. 100% chance to deal a critical strike to enemies on full health. Almost pointless. We'll take it. I just sort of wonder. I'm stuck on the mountain. That just takes so much damage. It's gotta be the debuffs, right? Well, I mean... who needs to survive when you're dealing this much damage? 2 more lords. Spicy. Ooh. Extra spicy. And they're down. Just like that. Even more area? Outrageous. We could start stacking health now. But since we're out of time, that's probably unnecessary. Quite get that crystal, we'll have to go back. Even more area? Even more critical damage? 95%. We could have more than 100% area. And just scaling outrageously. Our damage is pretty good. Let's go area. Because again, I'm pretty sure our debuffs are stacking outrageously with the clusters of these builds. Uh-oh. They put baby in the corner. Are our doggos even alive anymore? Ah, we do have 2 doggos. Area starts to become a damage multiplier though, doesn't it? Just because we're hitting more things with more attacks, which means more debuffs. Absolutely outrageous. I don't want any of these, but okay. Look how many enemies we have to kill to summon these guys again. Uh-oh. She's got a big bada boom. And she's dead. Big agility? This seems good. We need to move a little faster right now. We're sitting at not much. 0. I'd love to move 30% faster, thanks. Uh-oh. So strong. So strong! Relentless? Yes. A truly massive damage increase. I don't know, man. Seems a bit broken. But I'm digging it. We don't really have to stay on top of them. 80% to 85%? Not a huge change. But nothing else. Nothing else is actually good. I also don't think crit has much to do with the debuff stacking. Multicast of Shrapnel Bomb, Area of Effect of Cluster Bomb, multicast of Bomb Barrage. Which is our weakest? Let's see. Shrapnel Bomb, Bomb Barrage, Cluster Bomb. Bomb Barrage, 11. Cluster Bomb, 12. Shrapnel Bomb, 14. So Bomb Barrage is our weakest, yeah? So be it. It's also our debuffer, so that doesn't hurt anything, does it? Oh lord. Oh please. One of them is already dead. Incredible. Just like that. We've done it. Yes. Even more AoE. And normally what you do in this situation is go even deeper until you can't go anymore. But unfortunately, we're out of time. If this is the sort of thing you might be interested in, pick it up. Again, about 10 bucks US on Steam. Not too bad. I like it pretty well. I do prefer if it was a little tiny bit cheaper. The core game mechanic is kind of samey. We did reach Prestige level 5. Nice. We've never played the Handmaster before, and we made it to level 7. Feels good. But yeah, decent game. Lots to do. So like, the $1 per play hour, very good. Very good. And so it's just up to you if you like this sort of thing. I find it fun. It works really well on the Steam Deck, if you're interested. So that's what I do during lunchtime at work. I play this game. And that's where all my hours come from. But yeah, so we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, friends, I'm gonna keep on cooperating. Bye. Oh yeah, it's a good doge.